Hi Year 4. Ready for chapter 19? Let's read it. Chapter 19. Varjak padded down the storm-drained concrete banks and along the stream of sewage that ran through its middle. Ahead of him, the pack of sleeping dogs snored. Behind him, Kludge whined softly. "But scary dogs, bad place, come back, Varjak!" Varjak walked on towards the dogs. With every step, the smell of sewage grew worse. It pricked the back of his nose. It made his eyes water. "Go with him, Kludge," he heard Tam say. "If you don't, they'll tear him to pieces." Varjak followed the sewage. Still the dogs slept on. The stench was intense. He tried to close his nostrils and breathe through his mouth, but it made him cough. A dog shifted on its belly. Its yellow eyes opened, and then it saw him. "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" In a flash, the whole pack was up, 20 dogs, all barking at Varjak, snapping their teeth. "Keep going," Varjak told himself. "Kludge won't let me down. He's my friend. He won't let me be torn to pieces by these dogs. They're about to rip me to pieces. They're going to bite my head off and—" Stop thinking about it. Just keep going. The dogs came out to circle him. One of them reared up on its hind legs and thrashed the air around him with a sledgehammer paws. Still, there was no sign of Kludge. The pack surrounded him, snarling wildly. Muscles and veins stood out on their necks. Their flanks heaved. The noise and stench were overpowering. "I'm never going to make it. They're going to tear me to bits. This is it. Here I come. Holly, here I come to join you, wherever you are." And then from behind him, with a tremendous volley of barks, Kludge burst through the circle of dogs. He came crashing through them all to stand by Varjak's side. "Kludge!" he barked. "Kludge, Kludge, Kludge!" He silenced the pack. They stared at Varjak and Kludge, their eyes and jaws wide open. Absolute silence in the storm drain. "Kludge!" whispered the biggest, baddest-looking dog, a vast old silver hound, twice Kludge's size. Kludge nodded. "Kludge," he said again. Varjak stayed stock still as the silver hound lumbered out of the circle and approached the two of them. The hound sniffed at Kludge, sniffed more, and then sniffed again. His black eyes flickered. He turned to the pack and nodded gravely. "Kludge," he declared in a voice that rumbled like thunder, charged with a simple but immensely deep joy. "Little Kludge!" The dogs went wild. They rushed up to Kludge, sniffing, licking, yelping, all their anger gone. "Kludge, come back!" they barked. "Kludge, come back to dogs!" Varjak blinked. "You know these dogs?" he whispered. "Kludge's family," Kludge whispered back. "But you said your family was angry with you." Kludge looked shyly up at the silver hound. "Not angry, Papa Dog?" "Angry?" boomed the hound. "With little Kludge? Dogs miss Kludge. Miss Kludge so much." And now Varjak understood what had happened. This was Kludge's family. This was his home. They'd had a quarrel and he'd run away, believing he could never go back. But whatever the quarrel was about, it was long forgotten. The dogs were so happy to see him. They surrounded him with their warm bodies and wagging tails, and slowly their happiness spread into Kludge himself, until it shone out of his clear black eyes and lit him up with pleasure Varjak had never seen before. For the first time he thought Kludge looked like he really belonged somewhere. A dog alone in a world of cats was so much less than a dog surrounded by his pack of hounds. Holly was right to wonder about Kludge's family. Wasn't she always right? Holly, the thought of her cut through him like winter wind. Would he ever get used to her not being there? Cludge was flanked by a pair of magnificent black hounds now. They looked a lot like him, only they were bigger, older and stronger, like he might be one day. "Varjak, look!" he yelped. "Cludge's brothers! Buster and Bombalulu!" "Who the cat, Cludge?" said Buster, the dog on his left. "Cat's not come for years," said Bombalulu, the dog on his right. "Varjak poor," Cludge told them. "Cludge's friend. Help Cludge when Cludge alone." "Cludge's friend?" they said. Varjak stood very still as they sniffed him all over and then covered him with warm, wet, friendly licks. "Welcome, friend," barked Buster. "Friend brought Cludge back home," barked Bombaloo. "How we thank you, Varjak Paw," said Papa Dog. "What we do for you?" Varjak smiled up at them. "Well, there is something you can help us with," he said. "Is it true there's a city under the city through that tunnel?" "True," said Papa Dog. He pressed his face up to the bars of the gateway. "Dark, empty place. Smells lovely, but dogs too big to pass through. Me and my friends, we need a place to hide," said Varjak. "Will you let us through so we can hide in there?" "Hide?" rumbled the huge hound. "From who?" "Sally Bones." "The thin white cat," said Varjak. He shivered. "Our enemy." Papa Dog drew himself up to his full height. 20 dogs here," he said. No one get past 20 dogs. You, Varjak Paw, you and your friends, you get past. Thin white cat, never." He spoke with great solemnity in a voice that seemed as old and strong as the earth itself. "Thank you, Papa Dog," said Varjak. He turned to the top of the storm drain and nodded at his friends to come down. The mist was parting. Through it he could see a clear night sky up above and a full moon shining bright. One by one they came out into the open and joined him. The dogs stood back to let them through. If only Holly could see this, he thought. A gang of cats walking past a pack of dogs, with nothing but friendship and respect on either side. "Cludge want to come," said Cludge. "But Cludge's pack been so long." Varjak didn't want to leave him either, after all they'd been through together, but Cludge looked so happy here at last, with Papa Dog and Buster and Bombalulu and all the rest of them. "It's all right, my friend," said Varjak. "I think this is your place with your pack, but thank you for saving us. Again." "Varjak," murmured Cludge, licking him gently. "You need dogs. You call, we come." "Thank you, Cludge, and we'll be there for you too." "Friend," said Cludge. "Cludge your friend forever." They parted then, and Varjak turned to Tam and Jess, to Omar and Ozzy and old Buckley. He led them forward through the gateway, into the tunnel, into the darkness, into the city, under the city. So it looks like Cludge has left the group, for now anyway. I wonder what's going to happen in chapter 20. We'll find out soon. Bye.